Today, I want to talk about something that I feel really strongly about. I believe that everyone has something valuable to teach. And I mean everyone. Because I think a lot of people are sitting on knowledge, skills, and experiences that could genuinely help someone else. But they're not sharing it because they don't think that they're qualified enough, experienced enough, or expert enough. And to be honest, it's a little bit frustrating because someone out there needs exactly what you know. So let's talk about this. So first, I want to address the elephant in the room, and that is imposter syndrome. It's that voice in your head that says, who am I to teach this? I'm not an expert. I don't have credentials. I'm still figuring this out myself. And I get it because I've been there and I still go through that sometimes. There have been so many times that I've thought, why would anyone want to listen to me? There are so many people out there who have been doing this a lot longer than I have. They're more successful and they're a lot more qualified. But what I've learned is that voice is lying to you. You don't need to be the world's leading expert to help someone. You just need to be a few steps ahead of the person that you're helping. And honestly, that revelation makes everything just so much simpler. If you figure something out that someone else is struggling with, you can teach it. If you've learned a skill that someone else wants to learn, you can teach that. If you've solved a problem that someone else is facing, you can teach that. And listen, you don't need to have a PhD. You don't need 10 years of experience, and you don't need to have it all figured out yet. You just need to know more than the person who's asking for help. And I'm pretty sure that you already do. So we're going to break it down because I believe that everyone has something valuable to teach. Number one, everyone has unique life experiences. Your combination of experiences, skills, perspectives, and lessons learned is completely unique to you. No one else has walked your exact path. And that means that you see things through a lens that no one else has. You make connections that other people don't make, and you understand struggles in a way that other people don't. So let's say that you have switched careers 3 times. That's not a weakness. That's perspective. You can teach people how to navigate career changes in a way that someone who's been in the same field their whole life can't. Maybe you failed at 5 different businesses before one worked. That's really not embarrassing. That's wisdom because you know what doesn't work, and that is incredibly valuable. So what I'm trying to say is that your experiences, even the messy ones, well, especially the messy ones, are teaching material. So number 2 is your so-called inexperience is actually relatability. I know you think that being new at something is a disadvantage, but it's actually an advantage. So you're probably asking, why? Well, it's because you remember what it's like to be a beginner. You remember what was confusing, and you remember what you wish someone would have told you. Unlike someone who's been doing this for 20 odd years, they might forget what it's like to not know the basics. They might gloss over things that are actually super important for beginners to understand. But you just went through it, so you know exactly where people get stuck because you just got stuck there. And that's super valuable. So don't wait until you're an expert to start teaching. Teach while it's still fresh, and teach while you remember what it's like to struggle with it. Okay, so moving on to number 3. People learn from people who understand their struggle. Just think about that for a second. If you're trying to lose weight, would you rather learn from someone who's been fit their entire life or from someone who lost 50 pounds last year? Probably the second one, right? And it's because they get it. They've been exactly where you are. The same is true in business, in skills, and in everything. People want to learn from someone who remembers what it's like to be in their shoes and someone who is relatable to their situation. You don't need to be on a pedestal to teach. You just need to be willing to be real and share what you've learned. Number 4, your specific combination of skills and experiences is one of a kind. Even if someone else is teaching the exact same topic, they're not teaching it the way that you would. You have a very unique combination of skills, experiences, personality, values, communication style, and all of that shapes how you teach and what you emphasize. So here's an example. Maybe you're teaching social media marketing and so is someone else, but you're also a former teacher. So you explain things in a way that's really clear and structured. Or maybe you're teaching budgeting and so is someone else, but you're also a single parent, so you understand challenges that other financial experts don't. What I'm trying to say is that your unique lens is what makes your teaching valuable. It's not about being the only one teaching something. It's about being the one who teaches it in a way that resonates with your specific audience. And number 5, teaching helps you learn deeper. Here's something that people don't talk about enough. When you teach something, you have to understand it at a deeper level. I have learned so much more about digital products, marketing, and business by teaching it. Because when you're teaching, you have to clarify your thoughts and you have to organize your knowledge. And you have to answer questions you never even thought about. So teaching isn't just about helping other people. It's about deepening your own understanding. And that makes you better at what you do. All right, so let me address some of these specific objections that I hear all the time. The first one is, I don't have credentials. You don't need to have credentials. You need results. If you've done the thing, if you've gotten the outcome, if you have figured something out, that's your credential. And let me tell you, people are not buying credentials. They're buying transformation and results. If you can help them get from point A to point B, they don't care if you have a degree or a certification. But someone else is already teaching this. Okay? So what? There are 1,000 people teaching weight loss, and 1,000 people teaching marketing, and 1,000 people teaching productivity. And people are still buying courses on all of those topics because they connect with different teachers. Someone is going to resonate with you in a way that they don't resonate with someone else. Your voice, your story, your approach, that's what makes you different. Stop using competition as an excuse because let me tell you, there's room for everyone. Objection number 3 is, but I'm still learning myself. Good. That means you're growing. That means you're staying humble, and that means you're not pretending to know everything. You can teach what you know right now and still be learning. We're always learning as humans. Those aren't mutually exclusive. In fact, some of the best teachers are the ones who are still students themselves. You don't need to wait until you've mastered something to start teaching it. Teach as you learn, share your journey, and be honest about what you're still figuring out. Because people respect that honesty way more than they respect someone trying to be perfect. Objection number 4, but I've only been doing this for X amount of months or years. Okay, but you've been doing it for X amount of months or years longer than someone who's just starting. If you're 6 months into learning a skill, you can definitely teach someone who's on day 1. If you're a year into building a business, you can definitely teach someone who's in week 1. You don't have to be 10 years in to have something valuable to share. So here's what I want you to hear from all of this. You have something valuable to teach. You really do. It might not feel like it. You might feel like you're just figuring things out, and you might be thinking that what you know is obvious or basic or not even that special. But to someone who's a few steps behind you, what you know could be life-changing. That thing that you figured out last year that seems so simple now, someone is struggling with that exact thing today. You can help them, and you can save them time, and you can save them a lot of frustration and give them clarity. That's super valuable, and that's definitely worth teaching. I think about where I was a few years ago, and I didn't think I had anything valuable to offer. I thought, who would learn from me? I started teaching what I was figuring out, and people responded, and they told me that it helped them. And it wasn't because I was the best or the most experienced or had the most credentials, but it was because I was real and I was relatable, and I was just willing to share what I had learned. And you can do the same thing. So if you've been holding back because you don't think that you're qualified, I'm giving you permission right now to let that go. You are qualified because you've lived it. You're qualified because you've learned it, and you're qualified because you can help someone who's behind you on the path. Everyone has something valuable to teach, and that includes you. You just have to believe in yourself, and then you have to do something about it. If this resonated with you and you want more encouragement and strategy for building a digital product business, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for being here. Now go teach something. Someone's waiting to learn from you. I'll see you in the next one.